Because they were not trained from the from their childhood. So they should go back and build character. Immorality. Why? Because they were not trained. If you've gone through that stages to become a prophet or to become a pastor or to become a teacher, you will come with a certain level of dignity. So till we all come into the unity of the faith and to the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure and the stature of the fullness of God. Without having the full knowledge of Christ, you might lead people astray as a leader. Without having the full knowledge of Christ, you are going to lead the people astray. Let's look at something that happens in the book of Acts. Let's settle it again. Now listen, there are prophets of the New Testament. Don't say, because we read from the book of Hebrews, it means that the prophetic ministry is over. We have already settled that. He gave some prophets. Now let's look at the fulfillment of Joel. Because he has said to us that in the last days, he's going to pour out his spirit upon all flesh. His sons and daughters are going to prophesy. So let's look at it. Acts chapter 21. We are reading from verse 3. Now when he had discovered Cyprus, we left it on the left hand and sailed into Syria and landed at Tyre. For there the ship was to unload her burden. And the next day, we that were of Paul's company departed and came unto Syria, and we entered into the house of Philip, the evangelist. Now watch it. Philip was an evangelist, which was one of the 7, and abode with him. And the same man had 4 daughters, virgins, which did prophesy. So Philip had 4 daughters who prophesy. They prophesy. Why? God has said, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. So Philip's daughters were prophesying. In the Old Testament, it wouldn't have been possible. But in the New Testament, God's Spirit rested upon his children. So each and every one of you has the gift to prophesy. And as we tarried there many days, there came down from Judea a certain prophet named Agabus. So there were people in the New Testament who carried the office of the prophet. So prophetic ministry is not over. What did he do? And when he was come unto us, he took Paul's girdle and bound his own hands and feet and said, Thus says the Holy Ghost, so shall the Jews at Jerusalem bind the man that owned this girdle, and shall deliver him into the hands of the Gentiles. Now watch it. So Agabus came in as a prophet, and he gave a prophecy by taking Paul's belt and bound his hand and feet and said, listen, as you go to Jerusalem, the one whose belt is this one is going to be bound. And he will be handed over to the Gentiles. So he gave a prophetic word. Now listen. And when we heard these things, both we and they of that place besought him, that is Paul, not to go up to Jerusalem. So when the prophet gave the prophecy, when Agabus gave the prophecy, they now came to Paul and said, Paul, I think you don't have to go to Jerusalem. Because the prophet has said, if you go to Jerusalem, you will be bound.